Hello, buddy. Welcome back to Tin Man's Court channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm in my room today because I wanted to share with you guys another dream that I just had last night. So I remember it very well, and it's silly, but also crazy and kind of like a thrill-seeking adventure. Let's put it that way. To start off, in my dream, I was down in my papa's house with my mom, dad, and my several cousins. And for some odd reason, my parents got me an adult trike. I'm not kidding. I figured they would have got me that because I'm kind of timid on riding a two-wheel bicycle because I always feel like I'm going to tip over if the wind catches up and hit me. While adult-sized trike would hold my weight better. But anyway, I asked Mom, "Would you think it'd be all right if I could just ride it up the road and go back home and I'll meet you guys there?" And they said, "Sure, no problem." But before we took off, my other cousins got bikes too, and two of them accidentally ran into a bunch of rocks near my papa's shed barn building he's got in the front yard, and the tires of the bikes hit them, and they kind of went up in the air a little bit, and they bumped heads with each other, and they fell backwards. So I stopped real quick and helped them up, and one of them was a female cousin of mine, and she started to cry a little bit. Her dad and I looked over her head, and she was okay. Just a few scrapes and a bruise from bumping her brother's head. But anyway, they got into their vehicles, and Mom and Dad got into theirs, and I got on the bike, and I took off. I was pedaling, going like pedaling back and forth, getting up to speed, going faster than my parents. But I said, I got to be careful. So we get up to this fork section. Mom and Dad turned going towards home, but I said, wait a minute, let me go stop by my old friend's house. I turned there, and lo and behold, he ain't there. He's at work. I said, great. And even his parents went home. I turned around in their yard and went back on the road, but for some odd reason, I went the opposite direction than where my parents turned at, and kept on going past a bunch of stoplights until I turned on a road that goes towards my old middle school. And I went down that set of roads, and when I was getting close to my road, I wasn't thinking. I just kept on going. I was in the moment of excitement of riding a bike ever since I stopped riding one from when I was a young boy. I probably stopped riding a bike when I was 10. Like, I never rode one ever since. But anyway, I kept on going. I ended up all the way in Mebane, North Carolina, in the town part of it, because you turn off some roads, you might end up in the shopping district where the Tanger Outlets Mall is at and everything. I didn't go that far. I only went to where they got like a pizzeria joint, and I think they had like a barbecue steakhouse place a few blocks from it. But this is where the craziness comes in. I knew how to get back home because in reality, we've been driving by through there several times already, so I would have known in my dream how to turn around and go back, right? Well, no, I stopped at one of these places to chain my bike up to like a bike chain rail thing, just to park it. And I walked into one of the places. Now, we never been in one of them places before, so in my dream it was weird. It looked like they had these big arch ceilings, and the building don't even look that big on the outside. And I said I just needed help with some directions, but they wouldn't help me if I was going to not order nothing. So instead of going out the way I came, I accidentally went out the emergency exit and made an alarm, and I ran into the other business's bathroom, and I heard a knock like this coming through the bathroom wall. I was like, hello? And they said, if you want to get out of this mess, tap the toilet's nozzle and the wall will open up. I was like, no way. An actual escape route. So I did what the guy said, tapped it, and the door swang open, and I went in, and before these restaurant employees found me, the secret door closed back up, and they opened up the bathroom, and I was gone. This is where it's going to get crazy. The guy literally told me that I was either asking directions to find one of their friends' places because he was doing a lot of legal activity, and somehow the restaurants were involved. And they figured I was either a reporter or a cop. And I was like, what? I wasn't neither. I know, but they don't know that. So that's why they're looking for you. So he already went out and unchained my bike for me and got it near the spot that we were at to leave. I said, thank you very much. And he told me how to get out of there. So I did. I pedaled to the metal back through the opposite direction. I stopped at an intersection where I already turned off. I said, there ain't no way I'm going back down the way I just came to get down here. That'll take too long. So I went through another back roads area and got back at home before supper time. And I told my parents, and I said, well, we need to call the cops or something. I said, I don't think so. If you call the cops, they probably think that I started something down there and we're giving away my location, you know. So we called our cops and told them the situation, what we need to do. They said they'll look into it for us, and you might want to get a lawyer just in case, because they might end up thinking that you caused some havoc or something. You might need to have some legal counsel. So we did. And our local sheriff's department and police worked together and cleared me of any mishaps with the other police in Mebane, just so they know I wasn't involved in anything that they were doing, or I wasn't no imposter cop or reporter. That was scary. And then when I got through all that in my dream, I woke up. I was like, man, I don't know what that dream is telling me, but if you travel somewhere, make sure you don't get into a lot of trouble with the wrong folks, you know, because then they might think you're someone that you're not. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this dream that I had. I know it's kind of silly, but it was kind of thrill-seeking for me since I don't get out and do that many adventures right now. But anyway, this has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and I said that's a wrap. And have a nice day, and stay safe while you're traveling out of town somewhere. Goodbye, everybody.